This is so exciting. What we're gonna do in this space, and I'm gonna tell you all about it, because for me as the American, this could be the most exciting project I have ever done here at Mapperton. So, it's so exciting. So welcome to the library, everybody, at Mapperton. And this library is filled with history. So you can see here, we've got the first Earl of Sandwich's journals. So he is the reason that we are the Sandwich family. He brought Charles II back from exile and then was given the peerage, Earl of Sandwich. We even have some of the fourth Earl of Sandwich's journals here. He's the reason that we eat the sandwich today, because he put his piece of beef between two slices of bread so he wouldn't get his political papers dirty. Anyway, moving on. There's a lot more amazing characters within the Montague family, and one of them, many of you know, I am researching right now. She is the subject for my dissertation for my master's in country house studies, and that is Alberta Sturgis Montague, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, who was an American just like me, who came over during that really popular period called the Gilded Age. Because she's the subject of my dissertation, and it's really garnered a lot of interest, she's really this unknown American heiress. We've discovered that we have the largest collection of letters, journals, diaries of our American heiress in the entire world, basically. We think approximately 12,000 letters around. I mean, that's pretty incredible. She saved everything. That this year we are going to do an exhibition. So yes, the house here at Mapperton is open to the public from the season from April 1st till the end of September. We get lots of people coming to visit and doing an entire tour of the house. But this room sometimes is open, sometimes is not. But last season we had closed off this room, and this season we're opening it up because this space is going to be the Alberta space. So I'm really, really excited. So I've been collating materials now. Obviously, she's left us with this enormous collection. Like I said, the largest American heiress collection ever. And now I've got to work out what I want to do in this space. It's going to start out as a small exhibition because it's our first time doing it. But what I'd like to do in the library is, number one, I'd like to repaint it. So I'm going to be looking at repainting it, but also we've got to be able to have sort of exhibition furniture, really, if you like, in order to showcase Alberta. And what does the public want to see? And I think in particular, the public will want to see, I know I wanted to see it, her diaries. But unfortunately, her diaries are in such a bad state. Not the writing, but the overall cover. They're really, really fragile. And so I need to show them to you. And then well, it's exciting because they're going to be repaired, but they're going to be repaired by me. So come on, let's go through here. And those of you who are new to the channel, Alberta is right up there at the very, very top, and that's an Ambrose McAvoy. He was really the society painter of that period, that, you know, what I would call the Gilded Age period, because I'm American, but of that period. And there's a beautiful McAvoy painting of Alberta up there. She had gorgeous auburn hair. So what we're walking through right now, this is the Great Hall for those of you who are new. So when you come on a tour of the house here at Mapperton, you will then be able to also go into the new exhibition space in the library all about Alberta. Heading into the library. Now this is my secret door here into the Meit Room. There's actually three, the Meit Room is tiny, but there's actually 3 doors leading into the Meit Room. Here's one from the dining room into the Meit Room. Then of course there's that door straight ahead that leads into the church. And then there's that door over there that leads into sort of the back of the house. What I want to show you are some of Alberta's journals that I want to be able to display, and they will be put in a display case. Talked about that in a second. But however, they're incredibly, incredibly fragile. So this was her journal that she wrote. You can see the dates here. The first entry is April 29th, 1899. I mean, this page is completely off. It's starting to fray, well, even more than fray at the edges. And that's one diary that I'd like to put on display after it being repaired, which I'll talk to you about in a second. The other diary, again, this one was written when she was 11 years old. So if we look at this, it was started in 1887. So again, she was born in 1877. So she's 11 years old. 11 years old. And this one, you might think, well, that's in all right shape, except for the spine. So in both of these cases, we've got issues with the spine. And in this one in particular, we've got an issue with both the front and back. However, to have these repaired are extremely expensive to have them repaired. So I have been doing a lot of YouTubing myself on how to repair spines and even to repair covers. So one of the things that I should say, hobby I've decided to take up is to learn not only how to repair spines, but also eventually I hope to learn how to bookbind. But I'm going to start with just repairing books, and because these need to be repaired, and I feel that I'm able to do that. The other item that I'd like to showcase, of course, is Alberta's recipe book, or she would have called it receipt book. And again, you can see that this needs to be repaired as well. This first page is off, but this I would like on display as well, but it needs a lot of restoration. And it probably means I will have to undo these ties here, stack them all together and put in a new piece, and also use proper conservation tape in order for me to display these after I have acquired those skills of book repair and paper restoration. I need a display case. So I need to head over to the North Stable Block right now. I have the key in order to see the state of this display case, and I am a bit worried. All right, heading to the North Stable Block. It's beautiful sunny day, but there is a chill in the air. You probably wonder why I wear fingerless gloves and hats all the time. Well, I'm still, after a couple of decades being in this country, I'm still not used to a cold house. So if the temperature needs to be kept down a little bit, I've got to warm myself up with fingerless gloves and a hat. All right, welcome to the North Stable Block. There's lots of treasures in here, but this is for now storage. This is the North Stable Block, and these used to be the old horse boxes. So where the horses, when we had horses, we never had them, but generations before us did, the old horse boxes. But now storage, and then hopefully eventually this will be a proper huge exhibition space. That's our goal, or part of it to be an exhibition space. Nice chair. Oh, speaking of, there is the display case. That's what I'm talking about. This has not been used since pre-pandemic. So, woo! Right. Now, I'm not going to be able to take it out today because it's quite heavy, but this chair, I'm definitely taking this. I'm going to restore this chair, everybody. This, you can see, is our display table. There's lots of space here. There's another half over there. It can open up quite easily. It's got lovely velvet in here. It just needs a good clean. And this is where I will be able to place Alberta's letters, but also this is where her diaries will go once I am able to restore them and conserve them. But I think this is a great starting place. It definitely needs somebody else and possibly 2 other people to help me carry it back into the library, and then I'll clean this all off myself, but it's in pretty good shape. The exciting thing is that because of the American Heiress exhibition, which is going to take place in the library, it gives me the good excuse to redecorate the library. So in the past, we have had all of our exhibitions when the house is open up to the public in the library, but we haven't had an exhibition since before COVID. So this is the first exhibition we've had since 2019, and I really just want to lighten up and freshen up the library to get ready for this American Heiress exhibition. So we love working with a paint company called Mylands. They've sent us these lovely, lovely paint pots. They've been around since 1884, and I want to go light in the library. So I have seven different colors that I've sort of chosen that I like, from very light to a little bit darker and a little bit more color. So what I've done is I've just taken actually sort of a thick card stock, and I've used actually almost like a mounting, what you'd use to mount pictures, and because it's nice and solid, and then I can put them up in the library and be able to look at them. And the nice thing about using these rather than painting on the walls is you then don't have to paint on the walls, and you can kind of move them around the room to see where the light hits, where the light doesn't hit, and then and obviously colors sort of change depending on where they are in the room. So I have 7 of these, and I'm just going to start to paint. So the first one I'm painting is Fitzrovia, followed by Kensington Rose. Then I have Threadneedle, Gentleman's Pink, Early Lavender, Pale Lilac, and Soho Pink. Very, very British. So I've painted a double coat on all of these, and you can see they're all in the same kind of hue of color, if you like. A little bit of, I like to think, lilac and soft pink throughout all of these, but these over on this side are clearly much, much stronger. I'm swaying towards this end, but again, I need to place these in the library, look at them in different places in the library, have Luke also look at them as well, and then decide on a color. So let's head into the library.
Unfortunately, I couldn't be there in person to see the paint colours, but thanks to the wonders of modern technology, I was able to join via video.
We wanted to really brighten up the library, and you can see it's sort of a, I don't know, almost like a hay color. I would describe it, Luke, as a hay, straw color. But because of the fire that is here, and it does get occasionally used, and of course over the years, it's become a little bit mottled. And then that made me realize, with all the windows, the Georgian windows, the windows facing out to the front courtyard, that perhaps we should go lighter. What do you think? Like a light color?
I think definitely lighter. I know there was a plan at one point to go really dark, and I never felt comfortable with that.
Okay.
I think this needs to be a light room, so I'm hoping you've chosen some light coloured paint.
The first one we're going to go with is, which originally I thought was going to be my favorite in the kitchen, but now I've changed my mind, but it's called Kensington Rose. So there it is there. And hold on, I'm going to put it here, everybody, for you to see. So if I just kind of go, I guess, a little bit there, and maybe that's a better way. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that works pretty well.
Yeah, I'm also thinking it could be the woodwork, though. So maybe, so it could, do you see how, if I put it up against the woodwork, and even if I redo these bookcases, it's almost the same color, Luke, if you can see this, everybody. It's almost the same color as the bookcases themselves.
Well, I quite like our existing colours, so that would get a thumbs up from me.
Right, if we did the woodwork in this. Okay, so this is possible woodwork. Then what we have next, which has, it's called Fitzrovia. And again, I'm gonna put it up, but it's too gray for me. I think it's too gray. I'm gonna X this, Luke. You're not even gonna get a decision on this. It's too gray.
You can't cut me off before I've even given my input. Or maybe you can.
Well, let's compare it with this one then, everybody. So then we have, this one's called Thread Needle. It's very similar, but then it's got a little bit more of a warmer tone to it. So one is cooler and one is warmer. So if I put all three up, so Luke, if you just see, because I'm thinking possibly Kensington Rose for the woodwork. You can see here, and this gives it actually a really good example of sort of a little bit of pink, a little bit of gray, and then this one's much warmer. It's
a library, and libraries are supposed to be warm, and I think that going a bit warmer is probably a good idea, particularly as it's right next to the fireplace.
Now, let's go to the color. So for me, this is probably my favorite, but I need you to think of the whole room and how it would look. So we've gone sort of rose lilac color, and this one is called Gentleman's Pink. I'm not sure I necessarily like that name, but I quite like that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
And then let's look at it over here with the light coming through. I mean, so then when you've got the light coming through, you know, it's quite pink. So then I'm not so sure. So it's interesting how when you put it up against light. Okay, let's stay here for the time being. Then let's look at the one that I thought I was going to like, which I might still like, which is called Pale Lilac. And that's really what I wanted to go for in this room, was more of a lilac. But can you see, Luke, it's quite dark now. So I think it's...
Yeah, not so sure about that one.
On this wall, I don't like it. On this wall, it changes color and I like it. But no. So let's put that aside. Then what we have is we have Soho Pink. So again, I'm gonna go ahead here. Again, it looks very lavender there. And then, do you see that, Luke? And then over here, it looks very purple. Oh, I mean, it looks violet, purple, yeah. No.
Yeah, too violety.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's why you have to get these into the room. Now this last one is called Early Lavender. Now this one, funny enough, when I was painting in the kitchen, I didn't really like. But let me see it up against the darker wall. Maybe, but I'm still not convinced. Nope, it's too blue. It's interesting it's good to have this wall because it's too blue. Oh.
I think we got to go warm. We got to go warm.
My thought is, everybody, to go, where is it? Here we go. This one, Kensington Rose, is which I was gonna do for the woodwork. So there it looks quite light, but then when you put it up against here, it does give you just that little touch of, I mean, it's hard to see it on the camera as well. I don't know. Do you know what?
I like it.
You see, when I see them like there, then I think, oh, it's it's this one, the Gentleman's Pink. But then when I saw it up against the wall, it was too pink. And then one next to it is called Kensington Rose.
I think at this point I'm going to defer to you for the decision. And as long as we're not painting the sofa any of those colours, I'm quite happy.
Let me know what colors you think. The ones I'm going for are Gentleman's Pink and then Kensington Rose. I don't know. Gosh, and then we have to think about the ceiling. So Luke, I'm going to talk to your mom about the Rococo ceiling and just get the history around this before I start to clean the ceiling, which is going to be a big task. We are getting excited for the Alberta 9th Countess of Sandwich American Heiress exhibition here at Mapperton when we open up our doors to the public. And I am really looking around this Meit Room and deciding what's going to go into that exhibition. But once I look at those pieces, a lot of them need to be restored. What I have here are possibly some things that I might put on display, but also things that need to be repaired. So of course, the family ancestral seat since 1627 was Hinchingbrook Castle up in Cambridgeshire. Of course, that was lost after the Second World War, and we came to Mapperton, and this is where the Earl of Sandwich collection is. But we have a lot of engravings all around, sort of different bits that have Hinchingbrook. So this is a beautiful letter holder, but you can see it's come away on the sides here, and I will have to properly repair that. I'm not going to do that now, but I am going to repair something for you guys. Repair that. It's beautiful. So probably a couple hundred years old with this. We also just have, in one sense, kind of a writing pad, a drawing pad. And this one's on the inside, it's in decent shape. So it probably isn't, I mean, it will definitely be almost 100 years old because it's got the H for Hinchingbrook and it has the coronet up there. But you can see the red rot here in the leather. And I have some great conservation materials that will help to solve that. So this would be really, we don't have the key. I've got to get it to a locksmith, everybody, to open this up. I have given it a good shake to see if there's anything in there, and nothing is shaking. But this was Alberta's, and probably this would have been used to put her letters in that she had to correspond, or even letters that she was maybe writing and then put them back in there and then finished them later on in the day. But it was usually cases like this were for putting in letters, because that was, of course, the means of communication, 120 years ago. I'm not trying to restore this back to sort of gleaming, shining beauty. This is, if you, again, go back to the dates when this would have been given to her, between 1905 and 1916, we're looking at around, roughly 100 and almost 120 years old, possibly. So I just want to be able to stabilize this, and that is what I'm going to do after I repair. Right, so I'm going to just grab here a little PVA. So I'm just going to start with this one first. And again, I'm just going to be super careful. So I really like my, that probably needs a little bit more there, my bone folder, which just makes sure that you use this a lot for bookbinding, but so that you don't have any bumps or wrinkles throughout. This corner just needs a little bit more PVA. Great, and again, that's proving a little bit tricky, so I'm going to have to put this on its side just so it can start to mend. There we go. I am going to be taking my fine liner of the glue and just getting this edge through here. So just making sure that, there we go. I'm really pleased with this. It still has a little bit of drawing to do here, but I'm pleased very much with the side. As soon as I know, as I feel it's attached, then I will take the bone folder to it in a second. But there's just little elements here that I can just stick my fine liner under, just so, again, we can stabilize this. Wow, it's amazing. Just again, being really gentle with this material. So I'm just gonna pop this to the side here, clean my workspace, everybody, and I'll be right back. And now I'm just gonna be looking to apply this quite, well, in many places actually, because you can see the red rot sort of all around this beautiful piece. So I just, again, I'm using a sponge and to put it in the affected areas. So, and then that will, and then I just want it to allow to dry. So I'm just gonna put it in the affected areas, which is pretty much this whole entire case. Now, it may not look that different to you on camera, but I feel that I have stabilized. There was a lot of red rot around that I've been able to stabilize it. Now, once this properly dries, I mean, I can still touch it and it's not coming onto my hands or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but I just, you need it to sort of properly just sit. Then I will look at just polishing the brass here and the brass at the hinge in the back and the brass with the key, in the hopes that I'll be able to break into this before the American Heiress exhibition. This is the room, everybody, that I'm looking to redecorate, but this room is, you know, it's obviously of great historical value, and in particular, the ceiling. So when I'm redecorating the walls, the ceiling is to not be touched apart from a clean.
Well, the thing about the whole of these works were done by a company that lived in Blandford and Sherborne called the Bastard Brothers. And they were the main smart contractors of the area at the time of the 1730s, 1750s.
Right.
So Richard Brodrick used them. They were quite, they were canny. So when you look at the ceiling, you might think that all this was very careful plaster work. It isn't, it's molds that they already had.
Okay.
Because I have actually seen this exact ceiling in a house in Dorchester, not as a ceiling, but as plaster work on a wall.
Oh my goodness.
The whole way up.
Right, so it was almost cast.
Oh yes, it was cast already. Bits,
right.
It was already cast. They knew what they were doing, so they knew that if they were dealing with the gentry, if they could provide it cheaper in an already cast form, they'd make more money and everybody would be happy.
And so those of you watching, if you look at the house, I mean, obviously it's been built throughout different generations, but you have this Georgian facade. So
That's
Richard
right.
Brodrick, who was here, wanted to create.
Well, I think he was a chap who had sort of pretensions, you know, a county figure, you know, maybe a bit of money, a bit more money than his predecessors.
Right.
And so he wanted to make the house a little bit more contemporary, so he put on this Georgian facade, this
right.
classical facade. And in so doing, he decided to create the staircase hall. In doing that, he chopped these two rooms up, and as a result of that, he had to put a new ceiling in here.
I see.
But he kept the old overmantel and fireplace from the 16th century.
Right. And okay, and the overmantel is the royal coat of arms, isn't it? 'Cause
Well,
it's James the
yes,
First.
it is James the First.
Yeah. Right.
And this was over in Melplash Court, which was also owned by the Brodrips.
Okay.
And then by the Comptons. So in the late 19th century, the Comptons decided they'd make this house a bit grander. So they took a couple of overmantels back.
And that was
the one in the hall.
That was quite, I guess, a common thing to do. Sort of
I don't know,
see
it's
a
proper
big
sweat.
grand house, something that you'd like, you'd bring it in and.
And you own it already, so you just.
Right. I've been looking at, in particular, ceilings and sort of, I wouldn't call it restoration, I would just call it cleaning.
Yeah.
And
Conservation.
Conservation, exactly. So just to clean it a bit, and what that requires is no water, unless you absolutely have to, and it's the tiniest amount with some type of conservation detergent, but mostly it's with dry sponges.
Yeah.
So I have proper conservation dry sponges arriving, and I'm going to get on the ladder and just, you can see bits of sort of cobwebs hanging off, just a tiny bit.
Yes, well, we've never done it, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Well, I suppose we may
I'm sure you have.
Oh, I don't know.
But it's in
very good condition.
very
yeah.
good condition.
But Julie, actually you are my daughter-in-law, and I don't think you should be going up on ladders up to the ceiling.
So this room is going to be just touched up a little bit
I'm sure
with a light paint color. It's to be determined, not sure yet. But of course, this is where we're having the exhibition. And I was explaining to everybody, we used to have exhibitions when we opened up the house to the public here, but then pandemic happened, we sort of stopped. And we're now going to bring them back. And one of the things you're going to show me right now is a dress around the time of probably
I'm going to try and show you a dress around
Alberta.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's head up in one of the special trunks.
Right.
Back here painting a couple more samples for the library, but we are getting there thanks to all of you. But we have come up with a decision. So we are going to go, and we're going to go into the library in a little bit later to look at all of this. We're going to go for Kensington Rose on the walls. Now originally, do you remember, I thought, oh, well that will look good on the woodwork, but I've decided, and many of you also commented, that this would actually look really good. It's a lovely warm color. It has a little hint of that rose, would go great on the walls. And for the woodwork, and this was a surprise to me, but once I decided on the wall color, I kind of went back through the samples. We are gonna go bold here, and we're gonna go gentleman's pink for the skirting all around. So, and the door as well, so, and the door frame. So gentleman's pink. So we're gonna go back into the library and look at this. However, up above in the library, you have the Rococo ceiling, which we'll look at, and then you've got the frieze below it. I'm not going to touch that, that's Georgian, I'm not going to paint that. But just below the frieze, there is actually a picture rail. Now the question is, do I paint it in with the wall color, the picture rail, Kensington Rose, or do I paint it a white, almost the same color as the frieze? Now this probably isn't gonna make sense to you. We're gonna look in the library in a second. But what I want to do now is I'm just gonna use the back of these mounting cards because I'm not using Fitzrovia, Threadneedle, or Soho Pink. And I'm just gonna paint over them with this white. My plan with the blue, which I'm gonna paint on these remaining two cards, is to actually paint the inside of the bookcases this dark color. Now I think, ooh, I'm kind of getting excited about this. This one's called Maritime by Mylands, and it has a hint of gray in it as well. Okay, so pretty, really, really pretty. And this one's called Mayfair Dark. A bit more, I mean, they are similar. I think I already can tell which one I'm going to like more, but I need to see them in the library before I make that decision. It's still a lovely warm color, but I think it's a bit too blue for me. And I quite like the gray that comes out of this blue. But again, we need to see in the light in the library. Guess what, everybody? We have Luke in person today. He's not on the phone.
It's definitely me. I'm definitely here.
It's definitely you. So we are coming close to deciding the paint colors here in the library. And I don't know if we're going to make a final decision today, but I think we're going to come close to it.
We need your help because I suspect there's going to be a slight difference in view.
What I'm thinking is when it gets darker as well, you have to look at these at sort of different times of day, but Kensington Rose, I originally thought would work, but now I actually really like it for the wall color. I think it's smart. It has a little bit of hint of that, of rose in there, red, yeah? I quite like that. The question is of course now the skirting.
Okay, this is your wall colour, okay?
Yeah.
This is the Kensington Rose, and this gets the thumbs up from me.
Okay,
I
now
like that.
What I liked is I liked this color, which has elements of sort of peach and pink, of course, for the woodwork. So that's what I would like. But
Right,
there's another option, and I always wanted to go lilac. That was my grand plan, was to have, this is called pale lilac, and you could do that as well. But I think it's too lilac-y.
I think that's too pink. I don't know whether it comes across here, but for me, this is the same one we had before.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks less pink in the light here. I don't think I could cope
No, I think that's too lilac-y.
with all of the doors and the woodwork being painted
No,
the lilac colour.
I agree.
Because I also like, can I say something controversial? Well, in terms of your choices, I would prefer that the timber is a lighter colour, that the doors and the frames and the shutters and the skirting is a lighter colour, and that the wall is a darker colour, which is kind of what we've got at the moment. I don't know if you can see.
So we could do Kensington Rose
So you could do Kensington Rose
on the woodwork.
on the woodwork, and then the question is what you do
For the wool
for
color.
the walls. And here I could imagine that. No, it's quite pink, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so, well, okay, but so that, and that was the other option, wasn't it? That we go.
Yeah, but you don't want the
No,
woodwork.
I wanted
that
the other
color.
way
Yeah.
around. So what about that? Well,
Then that goes dark, Luke.
that's too dark, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
You
Oh
see?
dear. Right. We're going to get the other options, or is this it?
No, I mean I can get.
This is it.
I can get some more paint samples.
Wait. What's this one?
That's Holland Park white. That's
Okay,
going.
let me try that. No. Okay.
No, I'm
I've got an idea.
No, Holland Park is going on.
Can I just make a suggestion? Kensington Rose for the walls, yeah, and Holland Park white for
Yes.
the timber.
I'm happy with that. That's actually what I originally thought in my head.
Was it?
Yes, yes. But then I thought you might have wanted a color.
No.
No.
Okay.
Yes. I'm in
that
agreement
right?
with that. I'm actually in agreement with that.
I mean,
Yes.
They're kind of.
No, they won't be. They won't be that. It actually, I've seen pictures from Mylands. I'm going to show
Okay,
them to you.
okay.
And it looks really smart
Okay.
with the Kensington Rose.
Okay.
And then the Holland Park.
Okay. Wow. Can you believe it? We seem to have made a decision subject to everybody agreeing. Because if you don't agree, we're going to have to.
So I have a
start
couple
from
more
scratch.
questions, though. I have a couple more questions. So this is.
It does look very
No,
similar.
they're not going to be. They won't be, and I'm going to show you photos.
Can people tell the difference?
You can't see it on camera. You will be able to. 100% there's a difference. It's going to look great. Next is then what we're thinking is the inside of the book cover.
Is one or other of these.
inside of the bookcases is
Okay,
one of these. So if I just remove these, yeah.
Okay, so the first one is like that. You don't need to do more than that.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Okay. So wait, hold on.
No.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Here we go.
It's
So the
nearly gone.
first one now, it's also the shelf. So we do the shelves that color as well.
Okay,
Remember
so
that.
bear in mind that it'll always be quite dark at the back. But you won't, I don't know, would you do this?
Yeah,
this
you
bit?
do the shelves.
Okay,
It's exactly what we do.
Okay,
We do the
and then
shelves.
the second one
Is my favorite.
is like that.
100%.
Okay, and I prefer that one too.
Yeah, that
And-
is smart.
And hopefully everybody else prefers that one as well,
Well,
because
that one's called Maritime.
even if they don't, we're going to go with that one.
So, because
So-
you see how smart that could be.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Holland Park here. Let me just
and
pull-
it is a kind of ocean blue, isn't it?
It's called Maritime.
But that is more of a kind of Caribbean sea colour, and that is,
So then if you have the bookcases in that,
yeah,
then you've got the shelves that,
yeah.
and then you can see, now you can definitely see the difference between these two colors. I can.
I can't.
Oh my gosh, I 100% can.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I can a bit, a little bit. Yeah.
I think it's going to look super smart.
Right. At this point, I'm going to hand this all back to you, and
So we've decided
and
on
say
3
good
colours.
choices.
Back in my happy place, the Meit Room, where I can conserve so many of our family's archives. But if you look up above, the ceiling is still peeling off. I'm waiting for that commercial dehumidifier to arrive any day now. And once that arrives, then I will be back up on the ladder and repairing the ceiling. But I'm just waiting for this proper dehumidifier to arrive, let it start to do its work, and then I can start to do my work. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is use these silica gel packs and put them into the 3 metal tins that you see behind me. And that will, at least for the time being, allow some of the moisture that's inside of these to be absorbed. I need to go through all the papers there. I will be putting them into proper acid-free archive boxes. Which, if you've never seen those before, I can just quickly show you. So these are ready for the letters within these metal cases to be put in here. But what I want to do before I put them in here is to actually draw out the moisture. And that's going to take weeks, everybody. So it's going to take weeks. I'm also going to be going back to trying to conserve some of the leather. So today I'll be working on this box here, which who knows what it held, but it's got, well, now it's holding keys and bits, but it has, again, lovely velvet here, a little bit of marbling paper around here. I'm just going to be working on the leather, but this has the initials of WD. This was Alberta, our American heiress's, her second-born son, William Drogo, who served for the RAF, the Royal Air Force, under George VI. That's why you can see GR, so that's George Rex. So I have this, and I just want to conserve a little bit around. I can see some red rot appearing. Same with this as well. You can see H for Hinchingbrook, the coronet there, but you can also see the red rot and some repair that needs to happen around here. The inside is actually in really good shape, probably because it hasn't been exposed to the elements as much. So I'm just going to be, again, using the Cellugel to conserve that. In the meantime, let's open up these tins. So again, what I want to do is I want to be able to draw out the moisture. So I'm going to be super careful. I don't want to put these on the papers themselves. So I'm just going to make sure I've got space around the side and then drop them in so that they're not touching papers. I'm going to do about 8 each box. And these are 5 grams. So I'm going to be doing in total 40 grams in each of these. And then I'll be checking them sort of every couple of weeks. So I'm just going to drop them in places where there is an opening. And we're going to check back on these in an episode, a future episode. And we'll look at, again, how they feel. So they should, once I pull them out, after a few weeks, I should be able to feel the moisture. So I'm just going to pull that there because we've got lots of space. I should be able to feel the moisture from these, which is great. That means it's working, which is exactly what we want. There we go. That there. All right, last one. And this is really my Alberta file. So until I'm able to draw out some moisture, I'm not going to be putting them into their archive boxes. And then once I feel, after a few rounds of this, that I have been able to draw out a lot of the moisture, I will feel much more confident that I can put these in the archive boxes. If you saw the other video when I was conserving the letterbox of Alberta, I was using the Celluloid gel as well. And it's just really just dabbing it on. And it helps to, again, just conserve leather. I'm not looking to make this perfect. I want to keep the patina, but I am looking to try to stabilize it for future so that we can stabilize the red rot that's already occurred in the hopes that it stops for the time being or for a while. While I'm conserving it, you can get really quite close to the details here and you can see the beautiful embossing that was done, and it's starting to really show once I put the Celluloid gel on. I'm in the library that, as you know, is going to be redecorated. Now, I recently did a video where I personally chose the paint colors. I liked them, but you did not. In fact, I don't think a video of ours has ever seen more comments on a single video than what I had chosen for the color scheme here. Some of them were quite brutal and got right to my heart. However, I do appreciate them. I appreciate our YouTube audience and all of you being involved. And I'm happy to say that because of you, I have brought somebody back to help make the right decision for the library. Welcome, everybody.
Relax, I'm back. What were you thinking?
Well, clearly I wasn't thinking.
I don't think you were thinking, were you?
Well, you weren't available.
Sorry.
I was trying to, you know, put my stamp on here. I needed to rush through things, which I have learned a lesson, because to get ready for the American Heiress exhibition. And so I just thought, oh,
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever have the urge to do a little bit of do-it-oneself interior design again, resist that temptation and call me. All right?
Okay, I promise. Yeah,
Good.
I promise. Scout's honor.
Yeah, good.
I promise.
Okay.
He's back, everybody. I mean, the comments were like, what has happened to Malcolm? Has he been fired? Where is he?
No.
Why aren't they using him?
I was busy, sorry. My fault, really.
Right,
So,
yeah, I'm gonna blame you
yeah.
for that. Over
So
to
I
you.
think-
I feel like I need to bow, curtsy, something, yeah.
So, what I think we should do is I think we should explain a little to everybody some of the issues with this room. Because at the moment, the library is painted in very cool colours, but the library is a very cold room anyway. It has 3 external walls, and this wall at the back here goes onto the double height staircase, which again isn't heated like a proper room.
Right.
So it always feels cold in here.
Always.
So,
Right now.
so from that point of view, I think we ought to do a scheme that warms it up. Now, we've got 2 givens in this room. We can sort of paint it and decorate it in whatever way we want, but the 2 things that we really have to take into consideration are, here we have the stone fireplace.
Yes. Beautiful.
Which, I mean, it does need cleaning, but it is
It's going to be
very
cleaned, yeah.
pretty warm stone. The other thing that we have is we have in the bookcase, we have all the wonderful books, which are most of them in a sort of wonderful tan leather.
Yes.
With sort of wonderful gold engraving on them.
Yes.
So I think we need to sort of choose something that will sort of pull in with that as well, or it'll sort of set them off to its best. So I think the feeling is that we almost sort of need to sort of create a little sort of jewel box of a room.
Oh, I
here.
love that. You heard it here first, a jewel box of a room.
So with that in mind, what I've done is I've done a couple of layouts. This shows a layout using, with the piano still in this room.
Right up
And
against the window there.
Or with
yeah.
it in the window. This is always a point of discussion because this piano sort of moves around the house, doesn't it? Because we never quite know where
What
it
to
should
do
be.
with it.
So again, having it in here, it limits how this room can be used. But I have done a layout here where we get a sofa, a couple of armchairs, and that's the layout using this. The other layout that I've done
Beautiful.
is this one.
Ooh.
So this, we did talk at one point with Luke about this becoming his study.
Yes.
So there's
During the off season when we're
when it's not being shown. So there's
Yeah.
the potential that in this bay window, what we could do is we could do a lovely big desk. And then here we could get a really nice big comfortable sofa back table,
right.
big sort of upholstered ottoman, and then a couple of armchairs here. So this becomes...
And this is a...
That's a sort of a footstool that can sit in front of the fireplace, or it could be a fender or something like that.
Okay.
So,
and then the two side tables
and then
here
the two side tables
up against
in
the Georgian
window.
windows.
So I want you to hold those thoughts in
Yeah.
your mind because that will follow on to something else that I want to show you. These are the colours that I've been thinking about. So,
I think everybody on screen is going to be satisfied.
so first colour, wall colour.
Yes.
I'm suggesting this sort of, it's quite a warm yellow. It's it's not sort of pale,
No.
but it's got a strength of colour to it which we don't have currently. So if you sort of see,
Yeah. Excellent. And can we also, lots of people were asking
yes,
if we
about
could
the
put
fireplace.
it up against
but you
the
see,
fireplace.
I think it's going to look lovely against the fireplace.
Lovely. That
So-
is lovely. Why didn't I think about that? But
I don't know,
I
Julie.
don't
Why
know.
didn't you?
I was going to go for that Kensington rose.
Yeah, it was far too cool.
Yeah, it was too cool and it was pink.
Made the room look cold.
I know. Okay, this is warming
Okay,
it up. Okay,
warming it up.
love
So
that. What's
that's
the
that.
name of that? It's by
So
Mylands,
it's a
everybody.
Mylands paint, and it is wharf sacking.
Wharf sacking, I love that. So Mylands, we just want to say a huge thank you to Mylands who are gifting us these paints, which is fantastic. So love that.
So then the woodwork colour, I had two choices, but having been in here this morning and had a really good look, I think this is the one that we should go with, which is Cadogan stone.
Cadogan stone,
So
I love
it's sort of somewhere between a pale beige and a grey. So
Yeah.
a pale greyish.
it. Love that. Pale greyish.
So do you see? It
Yeah.
has it has just a bit more character than,
Look
than
at that.
the white. But it's quite crisp against the yellow.
It is.
You see? So
Yes.
all of our bookcases and all of our woodwork will be painted
And
in that.
the
And the
shutters.
shutters. So
Yeah.
all of this will go into that colour. So then what we want to do, as we've done before in the past, is to paint the inside of the bookcases in another colour. And then there is
love this
this
colour.
Mylands colour, which is Dulwich red.
Dulwich
So,
red.
and it's quite nice because it's rich, and I think against the tan leather
Yeah.
of the books, it's going to look really
Because I feel like
spectacular.
it has a bit of a sort of a mahogany within
Yes.
it. Yeah?
Yeah, there's a brownness to
There's a
it.
brownness to it.
So those are our colours. So that's sort of what will happen sort of inside there.
And the bookshelves
shelves.
themselves.
And then the outside of the the bookcases themselves are painted
Lovely.
in that.
And then you've got the
And
wall
then you've got
colour.
the wall in the pale yellow. So that's that. So then I just pulled together some fabric ideas to show you. I mean, these are just things that I had. But it's just to sort of show the
laying around.
palette that
Yeah.
one could then sort of look at. So for example, we could do a sofa in something like this
Yes.
lovely stripe.
So you can kind of put this
Yeah,
against here,
so
everybody.
those are our paint colours.
Yeah.
So you could do a sofa in that, maybe an
Lovely.
armchair in that, maybe an armchair in that, or
Yep.
the mossy green one.
Yes.
And then you could then bring in things like
For
a
cushions.
paisley as a cushion.
I love this.
That's lovely because that's got a
it-
print on it.
yeah,
So
another
yes, you see
cushion
so
or-
that's then picking up with the colour in the bookcase and sort of bringing it into the room too. And then there's these lovely rich velvets as well.
Yes.
So-
oh my goodness, look at this.
More cushions. but I'm just showing you how we can sort of work towards that.
Yes,
so then
but-
the other thing that I wanted to show you here was that if this yellow is our wall colour, the artwork that will be on the walls, it's either in a gold frame, and I've got this little sort of print,
Yeah.
but it just, you see how lovely the gold is against that colour. Or if we were doing prints, I would probably do it in a black frame with a gold slip.
Oh, I love
So
that.
you see that combination is really lovely.
He's back, everybody.
Hope you like
It's not
it.
like he went anywhere. It's just that I was rushing through.
We better go and show this to your husband and make sure he likes it.
So hold on, everybody. We got to get Luke. So pause right here. Let's go get Luke.
I'm here.
So
Well, that's a nice room, Mal. Can we have that? Can we have that?
Yes,
room?
exactly. That's what I would like you to have.
That's what you'd
Luke.
like us to have, isn't it?
Yes.
So
So the idea is,
Just before that, quickly.
yes.
Malcolm, thank you for coming to the rescue.
Well, I hope I have.
We were-
Luke. I hope I
We
have.
were feeling the weight of some important
Yes.
decisions that we
So-
perhaps hadn't got right.
Yeah. So I'm suggesting this as the wall colour, which is a sort of a soft yellow.
and look at it. And we can put it up against.
You know, it's not dissimilar to what's here, but it's much warmer. It's got more colour to it.
Yeah,
So it's not like we're doing something dramatically different.
yeah,
You know,
Which I think
so,
your mom is happy about as well.
yeah.
So that's that.
We're avoiding
And then it
drama.
go. Yep.
I
go
guess, and then
against
we
there.
like it against the stone.
We do like it against the stone, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I was thinking it looked a little green, but now there it looks kind of more yellow.
yeah, careful.
Has it got a bit of green in it, Malcolm? Or is
A slight amount of green in it. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
not lots,
Yeah, not
but
lots.
it's still warm.
It's still warm. Okay.
Okay. So then this is
Yeah.
our woodwork colour,
Yeah. Okay.
which, well, I'll show the two together. So do you see it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Look at that.
quite sharp.
This is why we
But
don't
it's
try
not.
to do these things
I know.
ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
she has been reprimanded.
Yeah, I have really badly. Not just by Malcolm, but by lots of people online as well.
You okay? Do you need,
I'm okay. I'm okay.
do you need some
Okay.
support?
No, I'm all right. I'm all
Okay,
right. I
okay.
take it on board.
Yeah, you're good at that.
So then the interior of the bookcases, so
Which we like that
that will go into our
Okay.
bookcases.
Are we? What about the shelves?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah, they're
shelves
gonna be the same
and the
colour.
insides up to that point there.
But the woodwork is.
But the woodwork
is
will
that.
be that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the outside of the bookcase
Yeah.
will be like that,
Yeah.
and then we sort of go
Lovely.
like, you know,
Fabulous.
that then goes inside.
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
So that's the plan there. So with that in mind,
Yeah.
I've just put together a
Yeah,
palette
isn't this lovely? And
of
that's really right about the
fabrics
greens. Look at that.
showing how we could then do the furnishing in this room to work with these colours. So we get sort of like a little jewel box
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we could do sofas in this, armchairs in this, cushions in this, upholstered
Yeah.
stools in this. So you see, you know, sort of that number of pieces of furniture that we can have.
Yeah.
So that sort of shows.
Yeah.
Shows-
Because you can see
shows what it
that's
could
the
be.
fireplace here. You've got two chairs there. You've got the sofa. If we don't have the piano, sofa up against there, two chairs there. Do you see how it
Yeah.
can all? And we were
So do you
thinking.
want my verdict?
Oh,
That has to be yes, Luke.
I've already said
At
yes,
this
but
late
okay.
stage.
Since I can tell that I've already been painted into a corner from which there is no escape, all I can do is say, Malcolm, you've done a fabulous job,
Thank
as
you, Luke.
ever. I love the colours. I hope we can afford one day
Well, one
to
day.
do all of these things. But I can see how
Yes.
the library is
Yes.
just going to be warmer, cosier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also a place where people are
more
going
usable
to see
room.
a bit of a blend of old and new. And,
Yes,
and-
precisely.
And I also like the sort of echo of the books and of the things that we've got here.
Yeah.
What are we doing with the overmantel?
Well, it's staying.
staying as
Staying as it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I did.
It's not impossible to
I mean,
repaint
it's-
these things at some point.
No, we
but
wouldn't
don't-
repaint.
But we don't.
So
I mean, I wouldn't change that at this point.
So what do we think of this, Malcolm, up here though? This has been painted.
I mean, it has been painted a few times.
Well, I
Oh, look, you
would.
can see the
but-
colour underneath it.
But
I
it's-
would
it's
suggest
also
that-
some of it's in quite poor condition here. I'm slightly nervous.
Yes. So do we restore it.
I think it's a bigger job than we can do now.
That's my feeling. I don't think this is something we should tackle at the moment.
Also, if we do it now, Julie will start to run out of restoration projects for the future.
Funny.
Yeah.
But
That's
you know
not
what's
true, by the
interesting
way.
here, everybody?
There's an endless.
You can see
endless
the
number
different
of them.
paint colors there. that
Yeah,
they-
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
well-
Yeah, it's been painted in the past.
yeah, that, you
And
know.
Malcolm, I want to get rid of the wood burning stove.
No, well, I wouldn't do that
Really? Why not?
because I think the size is appropriate to the fireplace. I think it'd be hard pushed to find something better, and I think it's probably safer to have a wood
as a
burner
wood burner.
than it is.
I
having
do
an
remember
open fire.
that when that was going, this room
Yeah.
would sometimes get so hot because it's actually oversized slightly
Yes.
for the room. It's a really big stove. Thank you, Malcolm.
Okay,
Thank
we've
you.
decided, everybody.
Yay!
This will contain supplies for the American Heiress exhibition and bits that I need in order to clean the 18th century ceiling. So, wow, we have a lot. So I'm just gonna kind of show this to everybody. So this is gonna help me really with bookbinding, to be perfectly honest, but also the dry sponge for other bits of conservation. I just have some liquid soap, but like conservation quality liquid soap, and a little spray bottle. I think I can put some of this in there and spray it when I need it, when used on a bigger surface. So coming into some of the supplies, here are some book pillows, is where Alberta, our American Heiress's journals and diaries, once I've repaired them, will be sat, but they'll be under something. Then this is the shelf that the book pillows will sit upon. So we've got that. Again, I'm going to keep them in their protective casing. This is literally so exciting. I'm going to have to find a space for this. I think I know right now. Whoa, here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. What? What's this? This is, Okay, we'll have to open that up in a second. I'm not sure what that is yet. I have my order form, but it's in my backpack. Now, I know that these are the portable, this is so exciting. These are the portable display cases. And that's the shelf that I just showed you, which will go at the bottom here, and then the book pillow will go on top. So these need to be kept, and I might even keep them in this box. I might put them back into this box. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. So there's 2 more down here. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Wow. What I have here also is, this is just a really good wax polish. And again, this is a brush that I'm going to need to clean the fireplace in the library. This right here is some dry sponges, and these will be used to clean the 18th century, the Georgian ceiling in the library, dry sponges. Look at, I got proper hat mounts. How brilliant is that? So I need to look at the state of some of the hats again. We've got quite a few, and we might go look at those and to see what state they're in. So that's a hat mount. This is another one. Yep, a museum hat mount. Oh, that's right. This is exciting. So we've got this big dry sponge here, but look at this, everybody. This is a good one to have, a big one, yeah, but these will tell you. So for example, this one for using, we're gonna go down to here. So we take 4101, that's this one. So we can kind of put it that way. This is really important. This is using for paintings, for frescoes, murals, paper, wallpaper, textiles, and plastics. So this would be great for the ceiling, of course, as well as this one as well. This is frescoes, stucco, lime plaster. These are the soft ones. Then they go up to hard and extra hard. How brilliant. This is so exciting. So I'm going to keep that in there so I don't forget what they're used for, but that will be used for the library. The dehumidifier has been running for about 90 minutes, and I want to check it to see how much water so far just in those 90 minutes. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm going to check the back. I love this. Oh my goodness. This is an hour and a half, everybody. Listen. Ooh. Okay. Can you hear that? Anybody hear that? Well, there's the water there. I wanted to shake that for camera. That is water in here. Now, it's not full. I'd say there's about a quarter of the way up here. So I'm going to put it back and let it continue just to run and do its job. But that makes me incredibly happy because I now know that it's taking in the, the condensation that's in here. So how brilliant is that? There we go. And it just does that flashing light to reset itself, and then it will turn on. Let's go look at some hats, shall we? I know that there are some boxes in here that contain hats, so lovely hat boxes. Now, I haven't looked at these for a really long time, but because of the exhibition and now the new hat mounts that I have, I want to be able to put a couple on display. So let's just have a look here. So this one I can already tell. This one I can already tell will be Alberta's son, Victor. Let's have a look at that. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. And what it has on the inside, which is great, it has Lock & Co. Hatters, St. James's Street, and then it has an H because this would have been given to him, or he would have bought it when he was Viscount Hinchingbrook. So that's the H there. Then, so that possibly might go on display, maybe. Then what we have in here, let's see, I think, if I'm correct. Okay, I'm having clearly a difficult time opening this, which is probably a good thing. Yes. So this I know is Alberta's hat. Now, unfortunately, everybody, it has a bit of moth damage, but I think I'm going to be able to do a bit for the display and clean it off a bit with the dry sponges that you just saw. So I'm going to do what I can with this. And the box actually looks all right. So it's not as bad as I thought. And for some reason I remember seeing Alberta wear this, but I can't quite picture it in my mind. And then here we have another one. So this is Lock & Co. Hatters. Obviously it was the place to get your hats. And this one's fantastic. And again, in pretty good condition. So I think out of all, and most likely this would have been George's, I think for the hat display, because I have two, I will do that. And I will do this. And what's really interesting about this hat in particular, even though it's got quite a bit of moth damage, what we do know from Alberta's journals and diaries is that she and George traveled quite a bit to the Far East, whether that was the Orient or India, and she brought back lots of textiles, clothing, chattels, etc. from from the Orient, from India. And of course, part of the display we will put on in the exhibition will be about her friendship with Swami Vivekananda, the great Indian Hindu monk that she followed, really. And so I think it's important that Alberta is, in one sense, represented in that way in the clothing that we're going to put on display. And I already have a really special dress that you actually haven't seen yet on the YouTube channel that we know has come from Alberta, and again represents her and that love that she had of the Far East. So what I'm going to do now is put these back in. This one needs some conservation, that is for sure. And this one is in actually really good shape. I'm so pleased. So these are the two hats. I'm going to actually bring these down to the Meit Room, but I do love this one as well. And this is their, you know, let's just look at it one more time. I think it's lovely. This is Victor's. I think it's brilliant. But I'm not going to put that one on display. I really want it to focus on Alberta and George. All right, so I'm going to put this one back, and that's it. So I'm just going to use the dry sponge on this hat that has been, of course, damaged by moths, but look at the color now, and then we're going to compare it to afterwards. So at least I can try to get it in shape. So if you watch here, you can already see it. I mean, it's incredible. These dry sponges are amazing. And you can see in here a little bit, like if I open it up, I'm trying, and then I'll get rid of that with the dry sponge as much as I can. And you can see it does quite well. I'm gonna have to just open this whole thing up and get rid of the moth bits that I see. But the dry sponge is like, it's literally a miracle. So, wow, this is incredible. I think it, apart from the holes, I think after I finish this, it could look actually almost brand new-ish. Well, you know what I mean. Well, I think it looks much, much better. Obviously, there is the moth damage, but I think we can use this on the display. Of course, this is damaged, and there will be, you know, that will have to be repaired at some point, but I don't know if it would be repaired in time for the exhibition, but it's much, much better. And actually this, I'm gonna take this tissue paper out and put it in with acid-free paper as well, everybody, so don't worry about that. And this box is actually all right for now, as long as I wrap it in acid-free paper. So that's it, I've done it. Well, today's the day, everybody. I'm heading up on the scaffolding. I have my dry sponges ready. I'm gonna be using the sensitive and sort of soft, really, classic ones, which is really, really exciting. Look at this. I mean, it is so exciting. These are dry cleaning sponges. They're fantastic for stucco, for lime, for plaster, and that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna head up now. If I encounter, by the way, any really, really tough spots, I am going to be looking at using a little bit of this liquid soap. I haven't even opened it up. Mixing it with quite a lot of water, and then giving it a light spray. But for now, I'm just gonna start with my dry sponge. All right, so let's have a look at this ceiling here. We do have our very own scaffolding. Am I doing it the wrong way? Probably. Yeah, it's much easier for me. I'm quite limber. We do have our own scaffolding. Oh God, scaffolding here at Mapperton. We invested in it. I could have used the stairs, but it's much easier for me to do it that way. Oh my goodness. There's just a lot of cobwebs up here. A lot of cobwebs. Are these the stairs I should have taken up? I mean, what do you do then? Flip over there? Yeah, that was much easier. So, oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna, wow, cobweb hanging down here. You have to be so careful, everybody. But look at right away when I do that, it's unbelievable. And I'm very, very careful. The difference that it's already making. Again, we're not painting this, no way. We're just, it's unbelievable what these dry sponges do. Oh my goodness, it really, look at, you can just see the little bits that I did. I've just done a tiny, tiny bit. And that is how much dirt I got off just with those little bits. Now, the difficulty here is, of course, this is quite intricate. It's very detailed. And that is where I'm gonna have to be really careful. But holy cow, I feel that it's very happy. This Rococo ceiling is very happy that I'm up here. This is great. It's so amazing. I mean, you can't really see it from far away, but it's unbelievable what these dry sponges do. I mean, it's just incredible. You just look at that. I've been doing this for, what, a minute?
Well, you can see it's getting a bit dark outside, and I think it's time for me to stop. I'm actually feeling exhausted. I feel so sore, like my shoulders and my neck and even my eyes are quite sore right now, just because I was looking up the whole time, and I started out on the scaffolding, but I felt it wasn't high enough. So, and I probably could have lifted it up higher myself, of course, but I just decided to then go to the ladder and just move the ladder around because I could get high enough and kind of, I don't know. I just felt a little bit more mobile, weirdly. I just make any sense on the ladder. But the crazy thing is I know it's getting dark right now, but when I look up, I think, oh, I can't really tell a difference between the half of the side that I did and the other half, which is to my right, isn't finished, but this side is. So I'm like, if I were to stand here, straight down, and I've got Medusa's head, I'm gonna call her Medusa, I'm sure I got that wrong, but wow, she has been transformed. She had like black spots all over her nose, awful, and kind of everywhere. And I managed to get all of those, pretty much all of them off. I mean, she actually really likes me, I'm so of it. But when I sit here without any light on, I'm like, oh, I can't really tell a difference between the half that I did and that sort of the half that I haven't done. But I know when I come in the morning, I hope I'm gonna be able to see a difference, because when I was up there, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of cobwebs and dirt. And I was like almost becoming OCD about it, because I wanted to get, I don't know when the next time we're gonna be able to clean this ceiling, because it requires all of this stuff that you see in here, sort of the lining of the floors and ladders and scaffolding. And so I wanted to do it right. And I guess I'm just a little emotional right now, because probably like out of all my Mapperton projects that I've done, which have been a lot, this has been the hardest by far. The dry sponges were amazing. Occasionally I'd have to use a little bit of this spray, which is for conservation, so it's mild and just for harder bits, but it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, everybody. It's like this Rococo ceiling is so intricate and delicate, and so I was having to get into these like tight spaces, but like everywhere, and that was filled with like dirt and cobwebs, and I think it's just exhausted me. It's like this is definitely the hardest, most difficult job I've done here, and I think I'm just so exhausted. I'm also like proud of myself, but then I step down and I'm like, I can't really see a difference.
there must be a difference because like so much came off, and yeah, I just want to like do a really good job. Anyway, sorry everybody, I'll probably edit this, delete this out, but I'll keep talking in case I don't. So you can see behind me in the bright spot is 2 bookcases, and so these bookcases were attached to the wall, and they literally were attached to the wall. There wasn't a back to them. So we've taken them off, we put a new backing so we can paint them that dark sort of mahogany color called Dulwich red. And then we can paint the wall behind them. So those are ready to be painted. I mean, everything's ready to be painted. It's just waiting on me. And so I have to finish this ceiling tomorrow. And yeah, anyway, I really hope tomorrow when I wake up, it's gonna look good. Because I've just spent so much time on this. Oh my goodness, anyway, I think it's time for a bath. Well, I'm back at it, first thing in the morning, and I'm feeling much better, everybody. I had a proper sleep, and now that I can see it in the daylight, I can definitely make a difference. So I'm really, really happy, very pleased. I mean, I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that, I did that. I mean, there's some places that I'm like, oh, I've got to go back over, but for the most part, I'm just about to the end. So I have to get this middle bit here, a little bit more of that, but that's almost done. And that I've done, but I might just go back over it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around, really the frieze around the wall one more time, because we're not painting that. That's again, you know, that's the plaster work. So I'm just gonna go around that one more time with my dry sponge. But yeah, I'm really happy I did this. Now, I've learned a lot, which is great. And yeah, I'm so pleased. So the painting's about to begin, and I just think it's going to look so much better. I actually can't stop staring at it because I'm so pleased with how it looks. But then I'm like, oh wait, I forgot that bit. Or I need to get that bit a little bit better, but I'm actually, like I literally am looking around being like, I've done a good job. Hours of this, hours. Anyway, a little bit more to go. And then we're gonna take down the scaffolding because we're not gonna use the scaffolding for painting, and we're ready to transform this room. I'm so excited. This dress. Now, it's here right now. I'm not going to package it up. This, let me tell you everybody, is exquisite. And we believe, and we feel 99.9% certain that this dress would have been bought by Alberta in Venice, where she went on her honeymoon. It's a Fortuné dress, and I've decided that this is the dress that I'm going to put on display for the American Heiress exhibition. Now I'm going to carefully, everybody, put this up, and you can see it's in really good condition. It's absolutely exquisite. Now, couple things I want to share with you all is, if you're wondering, Fortuné, you know, of course there was that excitement around the Georgian dresses, which is brilliant, but there should be equally the same amount of excitement around a Fortuné dress. So Fortuné dresses are absolutely exquisite, everybody. So Fortuné was founded by Mariano Fortuné, and he was born in Granada, then moved to Paris for his formative years, and then eventually to Venice. He's obviously an artist, and you can actually see the Museum of Fortuné today. For me, it's really exciting because as I'm in the middle of researching Alberta, not only for my dissertation in Country House Studies, but also getting ready for the Gilded Age American Heiress exhibition, she and George traveled to Venice on their honeymoon in 1905. So they were married July 25th, 1905, and then shortly thereafter, they made their way to Venice. And I've just come across a letter where she describes what she bought in Venice. She says, life is very full indeed of every sweetness. We've been to several curiosity shops and found a few charming chairs, 5 17th century Venetian chairs. And then she writes, covered with old silk. And then she writes, we bought a bit of old velvet for 2 cushions and a piece of brocade, quite beautiful, you will think. So obviously I am very excited to put this Fortuné dress on display, perfect for the Gilded Age American Heiress exhibition. These pretty much are ready to go in their acid-free boxes, but I want to work on the Georgian dresses because I think that's going to take me quite a long time to actually put them in their acid-free paper and then in the acid-free boxes. So I'm going to be spending the day doing that in the other room. Hi everybody, today is the day. We are actually putting this lovely warm ochre, I would call it a warm ochre color, onto the walls here in the library. And the name of it is called Wharf Sacking, and it's by Mylands, and it's beautiful paint. And it's really gonna, I think, make this room feel a lot cozier. Thank goodness Malcolm came and led me in down the right path. So I've got John here today, and with the ceiling now done, John and his team have cleaned all the walls and prepped them to get ready for really the first coat of paint to be put on. So John and I are here and we're cutting in today, and then perhaps we will be able to do the fun bit, rolling it on. I'm sure I'm a much slower painter than John, but he's been doing this for years, and I've only recently just started with the Meit Room, everybody, as you know, but I do find it quite therapeutic. You can really see the difference between this color and the color that was. So after the walls have been cleaned, you can see that the color that the wall was actually more of a, I don't know, beige with a hint of yellow. But yeah, it's going to transform this room. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it for today because John and I have done the cutting in and the first coat of this lovely sort of warm ochre color is what I kind of call it, called Wharf Sacking from Mylands Paint. And I also just want to say a huge thank you to our Mapperton Live patrons. Because of their support, we're able to redecorate this room. So I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to our Mapperton Live patrons. I mean, incredible. Now, Darren has done a fantastic job getting rid of the tar back here. Do you remember these 2 big black streaks? Really getting rid of the tar and just giving the stone here a nice, not taking away any of the patina or anything like that, but it just needed to have a little bit of a clean, if you like, getting rid of some of the smoke that had gone into the stone. And yeah, I think it looks better. Everybody?
Yep, okay.
We ready?
We're ready.
What are we doing today?
Take this plaque down.
So we're gonna reveal the bookcase that we didn't paint because of the fragility of the books.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna look nice with the paint color. What do you think?
Yeah, nice, isn't it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good, nice change.
Different.
So we're getting ready for the new American Heiress exhibition, everybody, and we're now going to see the state of the floors underneath. But I think they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all right. There's been nothing spilt on it.
No, and I don't think I need to necessarily do anything to them. I'm going to have a little look. I might do a little, okay.
What we need to do first of all is to cut all the way around the bottom of there.
Yeah, with the box cutter. Yeah, I've got one.
But the idea is to leave that on there till last.
Okay.
Because there'll be dust on this floor.
Yep.
So I got a pair of scissors.
I've got a box cutter. Should I get a box cutter or no?
We just want to cut it about 150 mil off the floor.
Okay. Okay.
And then we can...
and then we can start to pull this away.
Pull this away and then leave that till last, and then we hoover the floor, then pull that down last, and there'll be no dust on the books.
And there'll be no dust on the books. All right, everybody, I just want to give a huge shout out to Raymond here, who so many of you absolutely adore anyway. But this wood burner is like, it looks brand new. Raymond, what did you do to make it look so spectacular?
Well, I washed it all off, washed the rust off, and then I've used the very, very old-fashioned stuff called zebrite, which our mums and dads used it years ago. You can still get it.
Mums and dads used it years ago.
It's a very good stuff. It's like a,
Well, it is good, because look at it.
yeah.
Look at this.
That's all it needs, is a bit of zebrite every now and again. I've cleaned the glass, so...
I know, the glass, you can actually see through it, everybody. I can see my red boiler suit.
Yeah. Use it for a mirror.
You can. And then Darren, stonemason, amazing stonemason, has really tidied up the stone around the fireplace. It's great. What do you, Raymond? What do you think of the library?
I like it now. It's brought it up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to do that one day, are you?
Yeah, we'll paint that bookcase, everybody, the same color as the woodwork, but that was just going to be a bigger job because it's just, yeah.
Monumental job.
Yeah, it would have been a monumental job, but gosh, it's looking nice.
It looks nice when it's painted at the back now.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It wouldn't finish along the top.
No, it does. It looks so much nicer. He's just about to see it, everybody. For the first time.
Well, it's the first time seeing the whole thing together. And wow, I mean, I think it's a big triumph. I think the wall colour, as we hoped, really reflects the stone. Oh my goodness. Look at the wood, look at the wood burner.
That is Raymond.
Is that brand new? Looks brand new.
No, but it's Raymond who has done an outstanding...
We could fry some eggs on this, I think. Chris, you want to have some fried eggs on the wood burner?
Scrambled for me, please.
Scrambled, all right, they're coming your way. Look at this.
So we've taken, and you can see now how the colors work really well with the tan and this rich red leather that's on all of your wonderful forebears, journals and books. So I've got a little job for you.
She's got a job for me, that's okay.
Just
right,
let's
carpet.
do this carpet. So
okay.
This is going to be the exhibition space, everybody, while we're open to the public. So we probably won't have these chairs in here. We'll move them out. But what I want to do now is just kind of get the space ready. I'm going to put the books back in these two bookshelves here. My A1 boards will be hanging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will be covering the books. And then on top of the piano is where we'll have lots of different frames, which I've been sourcing at sort of charity shops of Alberta and her family. And then in the display case is going to go here, and that will have her book of receipts, her journals. She's got 3 of them. Her diary, the Bible that she held as she walked down the aisle, and some of her letters that were really quite profound and moving and touching. And so 2 portable, what we call portable display boxes over there. We'll have the display case here. And then we're going to have a really exciting mannequin that's being made now, because it's a proper preservation sort of mannequin that will, her Fortuné dress will go on, which I recently discovered.
It's going to be an amazing exhibition, so make sure if you are anywhere near the UK, and even if you're not, hop on a flight, come over and see the American House. So I have got one little special request. Because the exhibition isn't starting for a couple of weeks, can we just get this back to being a library for a weekend?
Yeah, for a weekend. And then
For a weekend.
For a
Hooray!
weekend. Okay.
Right. So we've got new armchairs, we've got carpets, we've got the leather sofa out there. That's kind of all we need.
Well, I'll put the books back on as well, because then they need to go in and make it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I also just wanted to mention to everybody, so many of you have said, oh my gosh, I can't make it over. I really want to see a tour of the house as we're opening back up to the public, or you want to see the American exhibition. There are 2 ways. Number 1 is we have 2 different sets of Buy Me a Coffee set up. We've got Buy Me a Coffee for a tour of the house. And again, all of those donations go towards our preserving this part of England's heritage. So you can get a whole tour of the house. And then on top of that, there's another Buy Me a Coffee, which will give you a special link once the exhibition is set up, hosted by me, by yours truly. I will be the tour guide of the whole entire American exhibition. So if you want a tour of the house, do check out that Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want the exhibition, do check out that link as well. Both of them really, really do support these projects that we're putting on here at Mapperton.
Let's get going.
Okay, let's get going.
Sitting in the library, enjoying a good book. Right, there we go.
In preparation of our Gilded Age American Era exhibition, we're going to be creating sort of 5 A1 boards that will be telling the story. So we're going to have 5 different boards telling the story. And in these 5 different boards, we're going to start with the American origins. And that's what I'm going to be working on today. I've looked at doing is, because people are going to be coming through the exhibition and you want to be able to tell the story as concisely as possible, but without having overwhelming too much information. So you can see here, the boards are going to be about this long and a couple centimeters on either side, but that's all right for purposes of this. I'm fine with that. Now I've got to be able to just find some paperweights here and put these down. For me, creatively, it's just going to help me think how I want to use these A1 boards. Now I have a template that has been made. So a template's been made, and which helps a lot. So under each heading, there's going to be like 3 subheadings. So for example, this one will be called, let's say, American origins, yeah? And from that, I'm going to derive where the wealth came from, and with pictures as well. So It really starts with Solomon Sturgis, which he was Alberta's grandfather and the father of William Sturgis. So I'm going to sort of, in one sense, I've got a picture of the bust of Solomon Sturgis. It's hanging on the wall over there. I'm going to put that over there. And this is going to be sort of Solomon Sturgis, and linking then to his bank. So the other picture I want to be able to show people is this enormous bank that they had, the family had in Chicago. So again, the bank, and that's going to give me just this, so I'm going to put Solomon Sturgis bust here, the bust. This is going to be Sturgis. This is Solomon Sturgis and Sons Bank. That's where that photo is going to go. And within here, I have about 445 characters, so it's not a lot. So it's roughly around, let's just say for purposes of this, about 75 words that I can put here. 75 words that I can put here about the bank. And because it's Solomon Sturgis and Sons Bank, I'm also going to insert, just sort of overlay on top of it, a picture of William Sturgis. That's Alberta's father. So this is William Sturgis here. That's what I'm thinking. He very, very much loved his daughter, Alberta. And so what I might bring in here is a lovely passage that that he wrote to Alberta, and it's really quite sweet. So I'm going to bring that letter in, just some of the words from that. Again, I've got 75 words. So letter from William Sturgis to Alberta Sturgis, which I just show, it can show the relationship between the two of them. So the last photo I'm going to have is the photo of the family's enormous house on the corner of Pine and Huron in Chicago. And it was built by Solomon Sturgis, but it unfortunately, it burned down in the Great Chicago Fires. But I am going to put this here. I mean, it's just this vast house. I have a photo of it. So house on, so I'll put family home. That's going to be my photo there. On the corner of Huron and Pine. But I also want to make a connection because I think it's also really important that there were these Chicago connections, these Chicago origins. So Alberta's first cousin, Kate Sturgis Buckingham, her mother, Kate Sturgis Buckingham's mother, was the sister of William Sturgis, and she later on, much later on, she commissioned Buckingham Fountain as in memory of her brother. And yeah, she commissioned these famous architects from Paris. And I'm just going to put that in there as well, the picture of Buckingham Fountain. And I think, I don't know if it will make it, but I hope it will make it as far as telling the story. It might be too much, but sometimes this is why you have to creatively look at how it's going to be laid out. So again, I've got 75 words for each of these subheadings. And I think the one subheading is sort of Solomon Sturgis. Then we have, you know, the, and kind of his wealth, the start of the wealth through the grain elevator. That's really important. So I'm going to put grain elevator. From here, we're going to have the bank. And in fact, this is why I do this creatively. I'm actually not going to have that letter from William Sturgis to Alberta Sturgis because my second A1 poster is going to be about her youth and her seasons and Swami. So I'm going to have one subheading, kind of her youth, second seasons, or Swami, and then the third, her seasons. But I am going to have a picture of William Sturgis here and the family house, and then just sort of trace it back, ending with how much wealth there really was and the story behind Kate Sturgis Buckingham. Yeah. So that is poster number 1. I'm sure I'll chop and change it, but to give you an idea of kind of where
I'm going with this.
It's very exciting, everybody. These have arrived. You're probably wondering what these are, but I'm about to show you. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've got to bring in one more package. I'll be right back. All right, another package. So this is super exciting, everybody. Like, I can barely hold my excitement, but I'm a bit nervous. Now, library, finished. Some things I want to, it's all happening. Like the exhibition is opening up a month from today as I'm filming this video. We have brought in this display case. So this display case will be filled with some of Alberta's letters, her diaries, one of her journals, and that is very exciting. On top of this piano, I am now just putting together a collection of photographs in frames, so it look very country house as well. So photographs, lots of photographs of Alberta, Alberta's family, all of that. Then we have these A1 exhibition boards that I've been working on. So they've just arrived, and I have to say I'm really, really nervous. It's upside down. Oh my gosh. Board 1. This is board 1. American origins. Solomon Sturgis, founding father of the Sturgis dynasty. Wow. It's looking good. I think I was just at a loss for words because the first thing when I opened it up was I wanted to make sure that there weren't any spelling mistakes, and there aren't, and that makes me nervous. So you can see how big these are. So how it's going to work, I'm so happy. Do comment down below, let me know what you think. So I'm gonna hang this from wire up above, so it'll be kind of like here. So you can, maybe even a little bit lower probably. So here, so you can come through and, yeah, probably about there, and read this. So this is one. Oh my gosh, okay. That's one, bear with me everybody. Oh my gosh, this one makes me smile. So board number, oh my gosh, this could be my favorite one. Alberta's Legacy, and it's about new beginnings, how we moved to Mapperton, but that quote that in one of her letters in 1906 that she wrote to her mother, she said, we went yesterday to a neighbor's Mapperton court. Never in all my life have I seen a small Elizabethan home so beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a proper tour later, but that's the board I'm unbelievably excited about. So this is board number 2. Again, I'm going to give those of you who purchase 3 or more cups of coffee on Buy Me a Coffee, details down below. You'll be getting a whole tour of the entire exhibition. By the way, I'm just gonna say that each of these boards, because this is not, this is my first time doing this and I wanted to get it right, but each of these boards, to curate them and to properly sort of edit them the way I wanted them to be edited, each of them took 8 hours for me to write it, curate it, all that. So this one, that one's gonna go in the middle here, I should say. So this is gonna hang here in the middle when people come in. And then this last one, and don't worry, this chair is gonna be moved. This last one is courtship and marriage. And it's really about, well, first how they were introduced, and then this uncertain courtship. She honestly, which is crazy, she didn't make up her mind until just a few weeks before they married, July 25th, 1905. Still in June of 1905, she still was uncertain and hadn't accepted his proposal. So this board is going to go here. These chairs, by the way, the chairs and the sofa will be moved out. Now, since I'm already in this corner, I was recently in London because oddly, we don't have a really good watercolor or even painting of Hinchingbrook. And this is a beautiful one. And this probably would have, looking at it, it doesn't have sort of the hedges around, which Hinchingbrook now has hedges. My father-in-law calls them the 12 Apostles. They're quite big. This painting was recently gifted back to the family by, hear me out, Alberta's half-sister, Francie, one of her granddaughters. So you're going to learn all about Francie. Well, you'll learn about Alberta's mother's second marriage in the exhibition, but Alberta's mother remarried the second time because Alberta's father died, and they had one child together, Francie Leggett, who became Margeson, and her granddaughter was in possession of this and is donating this back. I think is perfect for the exhibition. Now, I love this. So I'm going to put this on the piano, and this is from Alberta's book of receipts, as she would have called it, but we would say recipe book these days. And many of you have seen me look at that. In fact, I'm repairing it right now, and that will be on display under the display case. But I just wanted to give an example of some of a menu that would have been served at Hinchingbrook. So you'll be able to get full view of that. We have, I thought this was quite sweet. One of my transcribers put this together for me as far as collating different news clippings. So these are just, how great is this? Montague wedding, the week's event, that was in the Philadelphia Inquirer. The Daily Herald wrote, Miss Sturgis may be a countess. And then when she does become the countess, the new American countess. There you go. So that's going to be displayed here. Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep.
So about here, I reckon.
Yep.
So that it gives everybody room to flow round.
Yep, because this is going to be the main.
Let's take it about this way so it's more centered on the fireplace.
Okay.
So yeah, to about there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh my God,
okay,
I'm so
that's fine.
excited. I'm literally so excited. They come through.
We've got our displays in here.
Yeah.
Then what we can do is the photographs we can dress on the piano.
Yeah.
So they've then got room to come through and have a look at this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
great.
they've still got room to then see the board that we're going to have there.
Yeah.
And the board that we're going to have there. So I think maybe we do lose these two chairs so
Okay,
that it
great.
gives us the flow.
And mannequin with the Fortuné dress goes.
Yes. I would do it probably about here.
Okay.
Well, that we can take a view on, but I
Okay.
would suggest about here because
All right.
I think it's most out of the way. Okay?
Great. So what I have here, Malcolm, is I have all of her diaries starting from 1905. When I say
Until-
diary, I would say as in America, like a day timer.
Okay.
So in America, we refer to diary as like a journal.
Ah, okay.
Do you see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah. So it's sort of like just like an engagement type
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly. But we
Little
would
book.
call them obviously diaries in England.
yeah.
So I have one that goes back to 1905.
So that's the earliest.
Well,
you
that's
have.
the year she got married.
Ah, okay.
Isn't that just amazing?
Yeah.
So she kind
Well,
of.
that's really pretty. So let's have that. These are nice though because they're all the sort of the same. But I mean, obviously we can't display everything.
No, we can't.
But
I mean,
what
I
we
have-
could do, you know, just so that you can sort of see the years going by, let's maybe take a selection like so.
Yep.
And just fan that out. and then maybe have one of them that's open
Okay.
so that you can see, you know,
Yeah. So
what she was doing on the Friday the 6th of October 1916.
Right, exactly. So shall we look at November 11th?
Bible class.
Here we go.
Tuesday the 19th.
Yeah, look at this, 1945. Armistice.
Oh, right, yes.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So she has that right there, armistice, 1945.
Yeah.
November 11th.
On the bottom shelf,
So-
those are all her diaries.
These are all her
Right,
diaries.
there's a lot, isn't there? Well, we can't display all.
You've got 07, that's an interesting one. That's really pretty.
Yeah, these are good because they're different, but I like those as a little collection.
Okay, 1914. 1 second, everybody. I'm sure we have it. Let's just try to, because that's, okay, here we go. 2018, I'm coming to it. 17.
Have you read through most of these, or no? Not yet, no.
Because we're just getting through the letters.
Yeah.
Do you see? It's just amazing. Look at that. The Countess of Sandwich. That's 1943, but isn't that just pretty?
Yeah. So.
Do you want that one?
Yeah, that's good. Let's take that.
Okay, wait. Then we have, they're all in there. There's
Yeah,
she's
well-
got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So these are, this is 1940. Look at this. Okay, hold on. 42. She's got, so some years are
I just wondered whether or not, if you had read through it, say maybe this one, which has got a lot through it,
well, I'm trying to look at
if
years.
there was sort of
that.
some, I mean, obviously this is too difficult to read.
Yeah,
If there
I
was
know.
something that one could have, open a page and then have something transcribed.
I do.
Oh, you do? Brilliant.
So
okay.
I do have, but look at this. So this is, it says S on 1938. She still has her appointment cards in here.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that, but I'm not going to get this out, but I just think it's, every time I pull in here, see what that was, would have been something important.
Oh, right.
Look at Countess of Sandwich. Christopher Wood paintings. Here we go. Let's look at 36 and 37 here. Yeah?
Yep, that's...
So that was December. Wow. Around this time.
No comment at all. Or, I can't even read it with my glasses
I
on.
can. Hold on. Hold on here. Here we go. Abdication. Look at this. Baldwin in the House of Commons announces the story of the,
Abdication.
I think it's abdication. So, no, and the king's abdication, sorry. Announces the story of the, we'll have to read that. I can't read it because I'm not in light. And the king's abdication.
Right, okay.
So that's
well,
December 10th. Yeah?
Yeah.
The king broadcast his farewell. Very moving, very simple.
all right,
Isn't this
okay.
great?
Yeah. Well, let's try and find some things like that that are, you know,
Let's do that one.
comment on,
Then,
you know, history that people are aware of.
well, exactly. So then you've got sort of May. Here we go. We've got, now it'd be interesting. Here we go. Luncheon party, Buckingham Palace. Look at this. So she's at the coronation. So you've
Brilliant.
got for coronation reserved, wonderful seats near. Looks like
third row.
George, near George the King. So they were near George the King. Third row, peers. So it would have been the peers. Met General Sir. Looks like Eric Gurwood. So she lists, so they were there. So now arrived coronation, state guard, banquet. How great is this?
That's brilliant. So why don't we do that? And then don't we have the invitation to the coronation at somewhere?
So what we have is we don't have hers, we have her son's. So we've got Vic, we can put that out, of course.
Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, that little hole that I've made,
Yep.
got it even with my glasses and I can't see it.
There,
we
you got
go.
it? Right, so everybody, we're hanging this by fishing wire.
Right, I'm going to have to take my gloves off to do this. I just didn't, when
Yeah,
I'm
no.
hanging, I don't want to get the boards dirty.
Okay.
So let's just, hang on, so I'll do a reef knot.
Oh, a reef knot. Look at you, clever clog.
So left over right
Yeah.
and under.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I saw it.
Did you?
It's hard. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Have I
There,
got it?
there it is. Yeah, got it.
Okay. And then to the top, and then the other way around. Oh God, I can't even see it.
Here, should I hold that? You've got it.
Yeah, can you hold that just
Mm-hmm.
to? Thank you.
There we go.
It's so fine, this wire, and I'm as blind as a bat.
You're not. You've got your glasses on.
I know, but even with my glasses on, I can't see it.
Do you want light on it?
No, I think I'm getting there.
Everybody, we've got to do like
We've got
poor
to do
Malcolm,
10 of these.
10 of these. Okay.
I think I'm there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see it coming through. Grab it.
Got
Great.
it.
Got it. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
That's
nice.
one done. So
This is
what we're going to have to do.
number 3, so that's going in the far one.
Is it? Right, okay.
Inside these boxes are the hat stands, which I'm so excited, and I just want to say a huge thank you to so many of you who kindly and generously donated to this exhibition, the Gilded Age American Heiress exhibition. Because of your kind donations, I've been able to get proper equipment through Preservation Equipment. This goes on there. We have that. Okay, so I'm gonna put Alberta's hat on first. It does have lots of moth holes, but remember, I cleaned it. So if you watched one of our previous videos, you saw me cleaning this and it looks much better. So I'm quite pleased with that. And yeah, I mean, I might give it a little bit more of a clean with the dry sponge. Okay, what do you need me to hold, Malcolm?
Nothing at the minute. I'm just doing a bit of measuring at the moment.
That ceiling, what do you think of that ceiling now that you're high up there?
Nice and clean.
Does it look, did you hear that? Nice and clean, because that was 12 hours of hard work, really sore neck, but worth it because the Georgian Rococo ceiling, how good does it look?
Gorgeous.
There you go.
Can you pass me that little Bradley thing? I just
Yes.
need to make a little...
By the way, this is one of the many tools that I have from the donations for the Meit Room and archiving supplies. And you're using it, Malcolm, just to put in a very fine, it's really for bookbinding, which is another one of my favorite things to do now these days. So he's putting just a fine sort of really pin hole in there, and then we're putting little hooks, which then will allow us to hang these boards. And what's great is that this will probably, for the time being, even for next season, be the space where we do hold other exhibitions.
Now, can you tell me, is
Yep.
that about the right sort of height, do you reckon?
I'm going back here.
Do you think everybody will be able to read that? Lower, higher?
Hold on. I would, Chris, what do you think? A little bit lower?
Right, okay, well that's
Yeah,
important.
maybe I would go there,
Okay.
to be honest. Do you want me to hold that?
Yes, can you hold
Hold on.
that? Sorry,
Hold on.
can you get underneath?
Okay.
Can you manage?
Yeah,
Right, brilliant,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Okay. Is this like bad luck for me? Isn't it bad luck if you go underneath a ladder?
Yeah, you're doomed for the rest of your life.
I think I'm gonna be doomed for, oh my God, I'm trying to do something good. Now I'm gonna be doomed.
Right, okay,
Okay.
so, let go.
Okay. Okay. I let go.
Level.
Wow, look at you, clever clog. Looks level to me.
You agree,
Wow.
Chris? Are we level? Can I tie?
I mean, do you want me to come, or do you want me
No,
to?
I've got to
Oh, you
hold
can't.
it. I've got
Okay,
to,
I would say pull it a little bit. Pull up.
Yeah.
Your bit. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Chris. That's better, isn't it? Like slightly, just a little bit less. Okay. Ooh, no. No, wait. Hold on. Like, hold on. I think that's good. That's good. That's
Okay,
good. That's good.
right, okay,
That's
I'm
good.
gonna tie.
Do you want me to hold?
Yes, please.
I know, a little bit on the left, but
Yeah,
like
but
that's
I can't get that. It's too difficult with that fine wire to be able to get it
looks so good.
that level with tying the knot. But I think that's good enough.
I think that is good enough. I mean, Chris, what do you think?
Our big difficulty is going to get all of these at the same level.
Stay tuned, everybody. Whoa. Okay, it looks really good, everybody. It looks so good.
Next board.
Okay, next board. Oh, I think I've opened it on that side.
On the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you looked at all these
Yeah,
boards?
yeah. Checked them all
Okay.
out. Ooh, it's good, everybody. Let's hang.
So this portrait, I think we're going to hang here.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think at about that height.
And if you come on the tour, you're going to find out why that portrait is very, very important. So what we're doing here, this is Malcolm's idea, it's a really good idea, is to put a lot of sort of Alberta's pictures around here and her family. And I found these, I think they're fine. I found them on Etsy. So, you know, we wanted a mix and match. So Malcolm's just gonna take the frames. I'm gonna give him the ones and set them up. And then what we have here, everybody, is a range of her photos that we might not use all of these, but from the original, they've come out really nicely, haven't they?
Yeah, they look good.
From the original, okay.
Right, we need to put the backs in there, don't
Yeah, we need to put the backs in that. I'll do that while you arrange.
we? Okay.
So I do that. Wow, looking good. Here, I'll give you the ones that have, that's got a back. That doesn't. These don't. That doesn't. This, interesting, does. And that one does. So let's move these. Okay. Right. So we're gonna set these up, and then we're gonna start to fill up the exhibition boxes with the diaries, the letters, and all of that. Okay, everybody, this is the main display cabinet here, and we're gonna start to fill that. But you see it's got lovely red velvet here. We're gonna put in a range of Alberta's, I mean, she has every year, diary. But also, I think quite important are those abdication dates in December 1936 of, well, King Edward VIII, and then the coronation the following year in May 1937, and we now know that she went to the coronation of King George VI. But we also have these portable, they're great, they're portable display boxes, and from here, and again, these were all from the support of so many of you, and they're really, really fantastic. So it comes off. Here, I'm going to carefully put this here. And I'm just going to get it set up because what we have is we have a ledge. Let me just bring this over. And then this folds, sorry. So we have this and it folds down. You put this in, it's quite clever. That, this, there we go, little just bits of, don't worry everybody, it's okay because, let's flip it around, and we have a pillow. So this fits in nicely, and then this is to protect those journals, diaries, and letters that we'll be displaying as well. You see, oh, it's a beautiful thing. And then the display case goes on top of there. So we're just right now curating what goes in what. So this is the layout. Now I've got to put the photos in here, and then a little blurb.
Yeah, saying who it is.
On saying who it is.
Yeah. Is that okay?
And can I just ask you a question? So this is just Alberta Sturgis on her wedding day, 1905.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Alberta Montague with Victor. Do I put firstborn son?
Yes.
Or do you put with her firstborn Victor Montague?
Yeah.
Victor, I'll just do Victor.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we are gonna look at the Fortuné dress. Now, this is a room you've never seen before, but you're seeing it now. Because we need these ropes. So we need these ropes. We probably don't need all of them, but to guard, if you like, the Fortuné dress. The mannequin's arriving tomorrow, and it has been literally properly handmade, and which is great. So it's a proper preservation mannequin. And here's this, Malcolm. And I'll go run up and get the Fortuné dress. I have basically been inside this house all day today and probably have done 15,000 steps in the house. So again, the ropes that we're using downstairs are the same ropes because now we're properly open to the public. The same ropes that we use here. This is the private part of the house. There's ropes in the great chamber with that magnificent pendant ceiling. And this room is, for the time being, closed to the public, but it's where, for now, I've been housing those Georgian dresses. So they're in here. Now we have this gorgeous Fortuné dress. That's that my moth. So I'm going to carefully bring this down in the acid-free paper, just so we can see it. Okay. And there we go. Right. All right. Back to the library we go. This, everybody, once the mannequin arrives, this is where the Fortuné dress will be. I mean, it looks fantastic.
Look all right?
Yeah, it does. Just stay there.
Color good on me?
Excellent. I mean, it really looks nice. Isn't it just gorgeous?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that'll be wonderful here because I think that'll be a nice thing as you come in from the door.
Yeah.
And you see it right in the middle of the exhibition. Do you know what I mean?
I
It'll be
agree.
the main focal point as you come in.
I agree.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, now we're going to start to put bits and pieces
in our
the
cabinets.
display cabinets. Exactly.
Okay.
This was clearly before she was Alberta Sandwich, so you can kind of date this, that this was prior to 1916 when she ascended as the Countess of Sandwich. And it would have been, you know, a box that was sort of stored, you know, documents or whatever. It's been a little bit damaged, but lovely on the inside here. So where do we want to put this?
Well, in here.
Yep.
Just try there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you can see, and it's been
Yeah, exactly.
Alberta Montague.
Yeah, you want to see the name.
You want to see the name.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
lovely. And then
Good, and then
that
the
was
other
her
one
letter
here.
box. That
Yeah.
can stay there.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also, this can go in the display cabinet. So this is the wedding present, the silver
Yeah, that would look
cigarette.
better in there. I think.
Exactly. So is there anything
Okay.
else we want to put?
Yeah, well, we will, but let's get that set
Okay.
up first.
Okay, should we close this?
Yeah. Let's do
Okay.
that.
And you're happy with that there?
For the minute.
Okay,
We might change our minds about it.
okay.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just putting bits under here. Now, what we have is exactly,
Now, you had her Bible, didn't you?
I have her Bible that she
And this was the present she...
gave to George
As
in
a wedding
1905 as a wedding present.
Okay.
I have her Bible that she carried while she was walking down the aisle, which is
Right.
also in that photograph
Okay.
there. That's that.
Yeah,
But do you want to take it out?
possibly.
Yeah. There you go. This is the prayer book I carried at my marriage with George, Alberta. Lovely. So it's a prayer book, not a Bible. Now,
Good if we could hold that open.
I think I have something for those.
Okay, good.
So I will
Okay.
go check. And we've got little numbers here. I need to
Yes.
go get A, B, C, D,
Yeah,
E.
okay.
Okay,
good.
let me go
Yeah.
get that. We also have her, which I think would, her certificate of marriage. Or sorry, we also have the invitation
To her wedding.
to her wedding.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, everybody, it's been quite a day. So the mannequin for Alberta's Fortuny dress. Where this is going is it's going here behind this rope. The mannequin will be placed there. I'll put the Fortuny dress there. Now, what I've decided to do was also, this is the dress that Faith wore. Here it comes. And I had packaged this up when I was packaging up those 18th century dresses. This is the dress that Faith wore when she was being painted by Ambrose McAvoy. And I have found also, so Faith, remember, was Alberta's daughter, her third child. I have found Drogo and Victor. Victor was born first, then Drogo, then Faith, and then Betts. But I have found Victor and Drogo's tunics that they wore for the painting, which is over there. Now, again, that is just a copy. The original painting of the children were just three of them, Victor, Drogo, and Faith. And unfortunately, that painting was destroyed in a fire. And so when it was repainted, they decided to add in Faith, the youngest. So Faith wasn't originally in the sitting. Now, she was around during that period, but she was probably too young to be sat all day or however long it took back then. I think quite a long time for her portrait to be done. So because she was born in 1917 and this portrait was painted, the original, in 1919, so she would have only been 2. So I suspect that was the reason why. But I have another small mannequin arriving, a child's mannequin, and that will go over in the corner by the painting and by the 2 tunics. So let's get this mannequin up. I'm gonna be very careful with this, obviously. So, everybody, here is the Fortuny dress. It's pretty spectacular, and it's in actually really, really good condition. Like, it is in fantastic condition. So, I'm just gonna be super careful and I'm gonna put that right there for the second. Right, so I think this is the right height, shoulder to shoulder, same with me. And yeah, I'm gonna put the dress on now, but it's a beautiful mannequin. So I just wanna say a huge thank you to all of you who donated through buymeacoffee.com/Julie J. Montague, because I was able to purchase a proper mannequin for Alberta's Fortuny dress. And this was handmade. I ordered this months ago, handmade, delivered today. I ordered it through Preservation Equipment, and it's the same conservation supply company that the Royal Collection uses. In fact, lots of museums, big museums, the V&A, etc., use Preservation Equipment, and it has that sort of approved by stamp of approval from His Majesty the King. So I'm going to put the Fortuny dress on now. I'm so excited that the exhibition is nearly ready. And what I'm doing now is just creating labels so that when the public comes in, they will need to know, well, okay, what is this hat? And this is the Countess's hat. So this was a hat of Alberta Montague, 9th Countess of Sandwich. And then we've got the Earl's hat, hat of George Montague, 9th Earl. And then for things like William Sturgis, son of Solomon Sturgis, we talk about the American origins and really the wealth of the Sturgis dynasty, if you like. So husband to Betty McLeod and father to Alberta. And then next to William is Betty. And then this one is Alberta and George's children. So this is all of them, Drogo in order, Drogo, Betty, Victor, and Faith. And then I've done these here as well, apart from this one. I needed to look at what this one was, and I figured it out. So this was, I had to go back in the archive. Alberta was amazing at documenting on the back of photographs. And so these are copies of the originals. And this one was April 10th, 1905. So she still hadn't said yes to George. So isn't that interesting? And if I look close enough, I can see that these two portraits here were taken at the same time. She's wearing the exact same dress. So I do know that this was weeks before really kind of she said yes to George. So that to me was another mystery solved. But I can look at the dress, and then I looked on the back of this one. So that's kind of exciting that these were taken at the same sitting. And yeah, so it's nearly there, everybody. Still lots to do as far as more labels over for the display cases here, but I'm getting on that right now. And I think I might listen while I do that to like some Gilded Age music just to get me excited. So everybody and Luke, we have been having this exhibition open now for a week, and it is, I mean, unbelievable. People are signing up, people are booking tickets,
Can I just interrupt you?
and congratulate Julie again on the most amazing
excited.
exhibition on
So
my
good.
great-grandmother. I mean, it is just brilliant. You have done such an amazing job with the interpretation panels, with gathering all the photos, all of the things from here, all
and-
that you know.
And in the coach house, Chris just helped me put up this big banner. It's arrived, everybody. The American Heiress cutting edge AI technology exhibition banner. And I created this, and interesting, I'm just gonna say one thing, is now that I've curated the exhibition, I now have a newfound appreciation and respect for any curator who has to make A1 poster boards with limited amount of text. You've got to put all the photos together. I mean, each of those boards took me 8 hours, and this one, not quite as long, but probably about 4 hours. So these things, every time I see any type of, like I said, going into the V&A or the British Museum and I'm in an exhibition, I'm literally gonna read every single word on every poster board because I know how long it took. So this is to hopefully, wow. Okay, okay. Oh gosh, okay. How's it going? Whoop, whoop. Okay.
Look at that.
Okay, now, the question is, where do I'm not tall enough. But you're, okay, Chris is gonna do it. Okay, hold on, here, hold on. Okay, but you've gotta put your feet there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, wait, I gotta get around here, 1 second. Everybody, whoa. Okay, good, I'm the camera woman. This is amazing. Okay. Look at that. Oh my gosh, how did you do that? That is so good. That is so cool. It's kind of fun being behind the camera. Groundbreaking AI brings history to life. Visit today. I wanted to put this text in so people can sit here and read it. And then I wanted to give a little bit about her life so that people know that when they go into the exhibition, they will, not only find this out, but loads and loads more. Isn't she beautiful there? So loads and loads more. So originally I had this paragraph at the bottom and this was moved up, but Luke and I thought it's really important for people to read this and then they're gonna be like, wow, we definitely want to see this. So it's gonna go here. And if people wanna go around to the other side of the shop, they're gonna go through here and they'll be able to hear. I'm just so pleased. The feedback that we've had from all of the tour guides that are taking people through has been absolutely tremendous. So word is really starting to get out. I mean, a week in and we're getting tickets, but so many of you from the last video asked, how did we do this? And so I brought in the expert, like how did we create this groundbreaking technology, custom, American Countess AI?
The matter of marrying George Montagu was indeed fraught with complexities. In the early months of 1905, I was quite uncertain. In March of that year, I expressed my reservations, noting that while I liked George more than anyone else, I believed mutual love to be the foundation of marriage.
Can I just stop you there again?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to keep stopping Julie today. Because I set you up there. I congratulated you on your amazing exhibition.
Did I volley it back?
And that was the cue for you to say, Luke, you were a big part of this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't. She didn't pick up
I know
on that.
he was a big part.
Okay.
You were a big part. So you're going to explain to everybody how we were able to create this.
My role in this has been very small, but it's been very important.
No, it's been very
important.
important.
It's fine. I get it. It's okay. It's all okay.
So you're going to explain to everybody how you created this, because I don't even understand it, actually. It was genius. I mean, it makes my hair stand up.
It's not really my genius, But once upon a time, I used to work in tech a little bit. And so there are a few things that I've picked up over the years. But fortunately, in this case, what we did was something that piggybacked this amazing new system that you'll all have heard about called ChatGPT. And when that came out, it meant that we could suddenly ask questions of this chatbot and get back these extraordinarily rich and coherent answers. And then there was a new system that was added to this called Custom GPT. And essentially what we've done with Alberta is to create what's called a custom GBT. And this has really brought Alberta back to life. What's so extraordinary about it is that sometimes we're sort of talking to her and it just sounds like her intonation, the accent to me, but also, of course, all the knowledge that she has. So the way we've done this is to piggyback the power of ChatGPT, but also add in our own content. And that content has come from your Alberta research project.
Yeah.
We've got all these wonderful volunteers helping Julie with the transcription of 10,000 letters. We've only done about 1,000 so far, but we've uploaded all of this material into this custom GPT, the virtual Alberta, and that has really brought her back to life. There's a few other little bits, extra lines of instruction and, clever bits of tech that we've added in there. We won't talk about those because those are, completely proprietary and
Exactly.
only Mapperton knows how to do this.
Yeah, and we're the only historic house doing this.
But yeah, so we've and it's just worked beyond our expectations.
It has.
So what
It
we
has.
have now,
It really has.
when you come on the tour, you come in here, you get time to look at the letters, look at the photographs,
Go through
learn about Alberta through the different panels.
Yeah.
All of this you'll get on your virtual tour.
Seeing some of her photographs and of course the hat she wore, her fortuny dress, but
And we have Alberta reincarnated as an iPad.
and some instructions on how to use it.
So the tour guides give their tour, the first part of the tour, and then they come to the end point of the tour, and this is really the main event. It's the point at which Alberta is brought back to life.
It's crazy,
And
you
so
guys.
what
It's
we-
so crazy.
What we can do here with the iPad is we launch our custom GPT, and then we have the opportunity to ask Alberta a question. So let's do that now. Hi Alberta, fantastic that you've joined us today. I'm here with Julie, my wife. This is Luke, your great-grandson, and we're so delighted that Julie's been able to put on this exhibition about your life, and we hope you appreciate that as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your time at Hinchingbrook? Did you enjoy coming over from America and taking on this great estate?
Hello, Luke and Julie. It is truly heartwarming to know you are keeping the story of my life and the legacy of our family vibrant and alive through this wonderful exhibition. My transition from America to Hinchingbrook was a journey of both excitement and profound adjustment. Leaving behind the bustling life of America for England's historic grandeur was no small change. Hinchingbrook, with its deep historical roots and architectural beauty, was indeed awe-inspiring, but it also demanded much from me. Embracing this grand estate as my new home involved not only adapting to a new culture, but also taking on the responsibilities that came with it. The estate was a center of social and charitable activities, which I found deeply fulfilling. I threw myself into these duties with zeal, supporting local charities and immersing myself in the arts and history of our family. Despite the challenges, such as the cold, drafty rooms in the vast mansion, there was a certain charm and a sense of duty that came with being the Lady of Hinchingbrook. The beauty of the gardens, the historical significance of every room, and the opportunity to host gatherings that could influence and support our community offered a profound sense of purpose. Thank you, Luke and Julie, for celebrating this part of our family history. Your engagement with my past fills me with great pride.
Alberta, thank you so much for telling us all of that. It's lovely to have you back here with us. I know Julie's got a question for you, but I thought before we moved on, whether, actually you had quite a lot of fun at Hinchingbrook, and maybe you could tell us a joke about one of the dinner parties that you gave at Hinchingbrook for local celebrated politicians and people from the arts.
Oh, certainly. The dinner parties at Hinchingbrook were indeed splendid affairs, often filled with a delightful mix of wit and sophistication. One amusing incident comes to mind, which occurred during a particularly grand dinner where local dignitaries and several esteemed figures from the arts were in attendance. As the story goes, during one of these gatherings, a rather spirited debate began to unfold between a politician and a well-known playwright about the virtues of modern versus classical forms of theater. The discussion grew quite animated, with each participant ardently defending their stance. Seeing an opportunity to inject a bit of humor and lighten the mood, I quipped, "Gentlemen, surely we can find common ground here. After all, whether it's Shakespeare or Shaw, we all end up discussing it over the same dinner table." The room erupted in laughter, and the tension eased immediately. It was a gentle reminder that, regardless of our differences, we were all there to enjoy each other's company. And indeed, that dinner is still fondly remembered, not just for the lively debates, but for the laughter and camaraderie that followed. It's these moments of shared joy and lightheartedness that truly made the gatherings at Hinchingbrook memorable.
I don't know about you.
I mean, that's incredible.
I've switched her off, but I get a shiver. You know,
It's unbelievable.
It's extraordinary how, based on the letters that we've supplied, we can have developed, and with the help of ChatGPT, a character that has really kind of come back to life and can give us texture from that time. I wouldn't say that was the funniest joke I've ever heard, but it wasn't bad.
She pulled it from her letter. She pulled it from her letter.
She pulled it from her letter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like a real person.
It was unbelievable. So I've got one just to ask her, because I haven't, funny enough, I haven't asked her this. It's on one of the boards, so we know it's true, but I just want to see what her answer is.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, and others of you might have questions that you want to ask Alberta, and we can think about putting some of those in a later episode.
Exactly. Hi, Alberta. It's Julie here. And I was just wondering, did you ever visit Mapperton here in West Dorset?
Hello, Julie. It's lovely to hear from you. Yes, indeed, I did have the pleasure of visiting Mapperton in West Dorset. It was a delightful place, quite enchanting with its lush gardens and the splendid Elizabethan manor house that seemed to whisper tales of yore at every turn. In a letter written in October 1905 during one of my visits, I described Mapperton as, "Never in all my life have I seen a small Elizabethan house so beautiful. For some gentle soul who would make it lovely, all old oak and wood paneling, diamond panes, creepers outlining every window, clematis, lavender, and honeysuckle." It was a scene right out of a pastoral poem, the kind of place that inspired both awe and a profound sense of peace. The visit left a lasting impression on me, reinforcing my love for England's historical architecture and the serene beauty of its countryside. The beauty of Mapperton, with its intricate gardens and historical depth, truly captured my heart, making it one of my cherished memories.
That is extraordinary. She did indeed visit Mapperton. Those are the exact words that she said in her letter.
Exact words.
And,
Unbelievable.
And
Unbelievable.
What was extraordinary about it was the way she says, "For some gentle soul who would make it all lovely."
I know.
Yeah, could that be you?
I know.
Are you the
That's what I'm
gentle soul?
thinking.
Julie,
I'm like
could you
in
be the gentle
tears.
soul? Alberta is
Oh
talking
my
to me.
gosh.
And she talks
She
about
writes
the
that in her letter.
clematis, the
Unbelievable.
clematis and the lavender, all things that we've
see right
still
now.
got here. So this is an astonishingly powerful use of this technology.
And we're still continuing. So the Alberta Research Project is still ongoing. They are transcribing every day. They then take, the letters come back to me in their transcribed form. I then give them to Luke, and Luke then puts them into the American Countess AI. So we're continually updating the AI as well as more letters.
She's going to get smarter and smarter as time goes on. Anyway, we really hope you've enjoyed coming, learning more about
how we've
Alberta,
done this.
virtual Alberta, and she's only going to improve. So we're going to have to do this again.
Exactly, and if you are interested in getting a whole virtual tour of the entire exhibition, and whereby I ask several more questions, it's really worth it. It's buymeacoffee.com/Julie J. Montague, and all those cups of coffee goes towards my research, towards the supplies we need here, the archiving supplies, the materials, and really the technology that we're working with here. So thank you all so much.